When you're on the spiritual path, you must find your foundation. You must find the base, the platform of you. It's kind of the end goal of this whole exercise, this whole thing. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to establish a firm foundation within yourself. That's why it's kind of ironic or paradoxical. Because when you illustrate it as like a foundation or a platform, it's like some physical thing that you're going to build and then you're going to put yourself on top of it. It doesn't really work like that. It's more like it's already there. That's what your soul is. That's what your spark is. That's what your stillness is. And then you're like, just digging, unmasking, uncovering the platform. And then you touch down, you're like, here, it's here. And then now, like I say, that is the stillness that you carry around with you out into the world. Or not out into the world. You're hiding, like you're going to be a hermit, you're going to stay inside, but there's still stillness there. That's what meditation is. That's what prayer is. They are aspects of stillness. So the more you become still, the more you root yourself in it. Like I said, you anchor yourself, you root yourself, you ground yourself, you find the platform, you find this foundation. Well, then now everything becomes apparent to you. The nature of reality, the true wisdom, the clarity, the truth, unmasks itself before your eyes. And then these realizations start coming in. They start pouring in. Downloads. Or just stillness. It doesn't really need to be a download if you just are. The channeled word. Well, how does the channeled word come in? Unless you have purified yourself. Unless you have opened yourself. Unless you know what this foundation is on top of which this play of the physical exists. This grand theater. So Jesus talks about the foundation in his teachings too. He's like, you're going to build the foundation, the house, on rock, not on sand. Right? The stable foundation. Well, a lot of people think, it's about obedience or sinfulness or whatever. And to some extent, sure, you can look at it that way. But he's pointing to stillness. He's pointing to you, your truth, your essence being the foundation out of which everything arises within this construct that you're in. But no longer really bought into. You see the illusory nature of it. You're like, oh, okay. Sure. And then if you need to express yourself, you do. And then if you need to be still, you are. It doesn't like whatever needs to come up comes up. That's it. But this foundation, if you base yourself on something illusory, then it's obviously not as stable. And it's more prone to tipping over and falling over and sinking into the sand, like, in Jesus's example. And it can be tricky because sometimes like your mind will come through you and try and grasp at something that it thinks is it, and then it's really not it. So like Eckhart says, it comes in through the back door, this ego. You're like, I found it. Well, the moment you start grasping and trying to latch onto anything, really, then it's very fleeting. It's so illusory. You're basically always flowing with the change of life. That's the foundation. That's the stillness. You're the background stillness. You've merged with it, while everything else around you, and you're not always funneling your energy into this external. You've kept it for yourself, while also participating. There's the balance, there's the ebb and the flow of your own energy with the external, and it comes in and comes out, right? Being the mirror. That's what that is. Doesn't mean that you can't influence it. Doesn't mean that you have to be okay with it. You have your own POV. That's what you're here for. If you didn't have your own POV, then you would not have incarnated as one individual soul, as one individual spark. that is ultimately here to recognize its foundation, its platform of godness that it is. You have to want it, man. You have to. I'm telling you guys, it's extremely rare that it just comes to you by the grace of God. It shits on you. It's like, boo, here you go. Here you go. Here's your platform. That's what an awakening is. It's like you temporarily get all this crap removed, and now you see, and you're like, that's it. That's the foundation. That's it. That's what makes sense. That's it. Now, what do you do with that? Because now at that point, it's incumbent upon you to deepen, root yourself on it, to establish the base. You have to become familiar with it. It isn't just some temporary glimpse. You have to become very familiar with it. What does it look like in all these different situations, manifestations? Because you can sit in your room and be still all the time, but then how are you still, and how are you this foundation while you're out and all this external stuff gets so scary to the mind? People talking shit, people doing stuff, life happening. Well, if you're not firm in this foundation, it's so much easier to just get lost, to feel fear, to lose yourself to this fear. And then now it takes you over. And now what? Now what? Well, now you're just as lost as the next person. Then you kind of become a hypocrite in a way, because you know better. You've glimpsed this truth. This is what the in-between part from when you've awakened to when you reach your full realization. You're kind of a hypocrite in that middle area, guys. I was a hypocrite because I'm like, oh, I'm so spiritual. Look, I've glimpsed all these things, but I wasn't truly embodying it. And at that point, it's like, it's all very silly anyway, but even now, while you're merged, you can still see your own hypocrisies, your own contradictions. The only difference between you being a hypocrite or not being a hypocrite yourself is the awareness of your own behavior, of your own words, of your own intention with which you're doing something. So like I say, to somebody else, it's going to look like you are an idiot, like you are a hypocrite, like you are whatever, but they don't know where you're coming from internally. And the moment they label it as something, it's already illusory. Already. So it's like if you don't have the foundation, if you don't have the base platform of yourself, if you have not realized that, then I don't know, it's not even like I don't want to say manifestation and like, law of attraction shit. But it's like your will, what you would say as your choice. And like I say, there's really no will. It's the illusion of free will, but in as much as you having your own POV and experiencing something, your will, your choice, your wanting, your desire to influence something, it is not going to be as potent unless it is coming from a still place. Unless it's coming from a place where you've opened your heart and you've aligned the mind with the heart, and then now you do, and it comes effortlessly. When you've merged, there isn't so much trying. You're not like, I need to find the platform, I need to find the base, I need to find myself. You're not asking those questions anymore. You just it. And so then now somebody comes and asks you, well, how do I find this for myself? You're like, okay, well, you need to find the stillness. Well, what's the most concise, most potent way of finding, most efficient way of finding the stillness? It's the meditation and the prayer. It always will be. And then based on that person's mental lens and conditioning, they're either going to vibe with the idea of sitting down and meditating and praying, or they're not. If they're atheists, they're going to be like, oh, I don't really believe in any of that woo-woo shit. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of atheists that still meditate. It doesn't have to be a woo-woo thing. You don't even have to buy into religion or any kind of God or anything to tap into your own intuition and stillness. You really don't. You can still be as atheist as you want to fucking be. Only buy into the physical. But what's going to happen is that you're going to be more prone to understanding the nature of reality, of understanding that there is a grand unseen consciousness that governs all of this, when you more and more and more align yourself with stillness through the meditation and the prayer. It's like inevitable. It's a default base realization that comes in. You're like, wait a minute, it isn't only this stuff that I see? No, that's 0.001% of the existence, man. The unseen is far greater than the seen, like I've said. Far greater, man. That's where the magic is. That's the platform that you are. That's the platform that you're finding. That's the foundation that you're building yourself on. You root yourself on it. You latch onto it. It is. There's not even a latching on. It's just there. But you have to use words to describe it. So like latching on. Okay, cool. Well, what am I latching on to? What you've been doing is you're latching onto your mind. Like I say, you're the parasite, you're the leech that's sucking the mind, and there's an attachment to the mind. What you want to do is attach yourself to your stillness, but you can't attach yourself to your stillness. That's why it's so fleeting and illusory. It isn't something to be attached to like the mind is. The mind is the concrete construct. The mind is the thing. The mind is the etheric representation of the physical in you. So it's much easier to latch onto that and then think that's you and perpetuate that whole cycle, that whole conditioned, bought into this physical reality cycle, like I say, losing yourself in things and the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Well, when you detach yourself from all of that, well, now what are you left with? Well, now it's very trippy shit. Now it's very like, woo! I enter into this new multi-dimensional kind of like open, whoa, everything is me and I am it, and like, how do I even describe that anymore? How silly. Whatever. I guess I'm just here for as long as I'm here, and then I guess while I'm here, I might as well do something or not do something, or it doesn't really matter. So I'm saying that's why it does fuck with you, because you're like, should I do something or should I not do? What is there should? What is a should? What is a want? What is a desire? What are any of these things anymore? And then God's just like asking, hey, just participate, just experience. That's really all you're here for. God wants to experience separateness through individuals, through consciousness, layers upon layers, so God can experience itself. Otherwise, God would just be one, God would just be stillness, and then God wouldn't have the varieties of experience of itself. It would be impossible. That's what this whole experiment is for. And then now it doesn't become so serious. It becomes a wonderful play. It's like, oh, how magnificent, how amazing. It's beautiful, all of it, because it is all an aspect of God. Even the shit that you think is not so cool, it's still cool. God likes it, or else it wouldn't be. It's like anything that you think is suffering, you're like, no, this shouldn't be this way. God loves it. It's an aspect of itself. You're like, no, God doesn't suffer. Well, God doesn't. What is suffering to God? Think about it. What is suffering to stillness? It doesn't even attach itself to it. It's just so fleeting. It's so momentary. It's so nothing. Even if you're like years and years of suffering through one little focal point, God doesn't give a fuck, man. To God, that's nothing. To God, that is a nanosecond. It's nothing. Nanoseconds of suffering and bliss and suffering and bliss. That's all it is to God. It's too big. To us, in one little compartmentalized, one little life, one little, week to week, month to month kind of reality, of course, it's all very super significant. It's happening in my one life that I think is my one life, and I only get one chance. Yeah, all that stuff is very scary then, isn't it? Because, like I say, no foundation, no appreciation, no understanding of the whole, of the stillness that animates all of it. And so when you find this foundation, when you are the platform, your will becomes so much stronger. Your perseverance becomes so much stronger. Your courage comes in. Because you're just not willing to give yourself to some illusion, to some fear. You're not. You're done with that part of your life that got caught up in that shit. You're done with that part. You're so firm and rooted in it that you're unshakable, unbreakable. Even in your physical weakness, even like I broke my arm. Darius, you said I was unbreakable, I'm unshakable. I broke my arm, I'm paralyzed, I'm blind, I've lost the physical shit. You're still unbreakable. Because you're God. How is God going to be breakable? You see what I'm saying? You can't fuck with God. And that's what you are. You're a part of it. Your core essence is it. You're just temporarily here to see it for a little bit and then like act some stuff out and, maybe try and improve some stuff or not, and do whatever you want to do. But I'm telling you guys, there is a responsibility, there is an importance with this, guys. There is. If you can choose the better, if you can choose the good, then why wouldn't you? Yeah, go be the devil worshiper, go hate, go be like, utter anarchy, like chaos, sow seeds of discord and mocking and all this, be a nasty complaining piece of shit. Do all of those things if you want. At least if you're choosing to do those things from a conscious place, then that's also, it's just the polarity. You can do that, but it doesn't feel as good. It doesn't. The good feels good. The good feels good. That's why it's made that way. That's why it's made that way. While also being able to recognize from this place of goodness that the bad is needed too. Doesn't mean that you can't try to better it, to try to eliminate some of it, to try to cleanse some of it, to try to purify some of it. That's what's happening right now on this earth, is there is the purification process that is happening. There is the tipping point. There is the acceleration of fear, of illusion, until we finally break free. It forces us to. The suffering forces you, whether you like it or not. It is, like I say, the flip side of the coin. It forces you into your awakening, whether you realize it or not. So that's what's happening on a global scale, on a mass scale. Lots of tiny little people just popping off. So many people awakening now to the truth. It was impossible before. We didn't have communication like we do now. We didn't have the full breadth of information available at our fingertips like we do now throughout history, throughout the past thousands of years. So realizations were compartmentalized and localized to a few people that happened to pop off and share some teachings, and then maybe somebody wrote it down, or orally it was passed down. It wasn't spreading as quickly as it can now. Now it can catch fire and instantly, overnight almost, if it wanted to. God has no limitation. If God wanted to wake everyone up simultaneously, it could. But it likes the stages of it playing out. It likes the experience of it being a drawn-out process. It likes feeling it through time. God likes time, even though God is outside of time, or else God would not have created time for us to exist in. It's very simple. It's very... You understand the base logic of all of this reality. You understand it. Like, well, if it is, then it is, and it's there for a reason. And not, like I say, like, not even one reason, millions upon billions of reasons that we could never know. It would overload us if we were to know. That's why, like, in near-death experiences, when you leave your body and you're on your way back to glimpse this, eternal realm where we all reside in before we come in or after we pass, there is this merged knowingness, this okayness, this like lovey-dovey, it feels so warm and fuzzy stuff, like I say, for those souls. That is the all-knowing place, because you're already kind of merged with it. You're still kind of singular, you're still kind of a soul spark, but you're so much closer, and you're outside of physical, where the fear lies, where the illusion lies. You have the bird's eye view. Well, what you're trying to do right now through the foundation and the platform is realize the bird's eye view while you're still here. And then now your job, like someone like me, is to try and describe what that's like, to maybe get some other people to also realize that about themselves. To also get you guys to realize that any chosen one, any truth teller, any enlightened person, whatever, all these labels, whatever, any Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, Krishna, Yogananda, any Eckhart Tolle, and if you put me there, any one of us that speaks truth, all they're trying to get you to realize is that you are that as well. And if anyone comes in and tells you, no, they're higher than you, Jesus is higher than you, Jesus is literally the Son of God, and you could never be the Son of God, Jesus was the Son of God, and all this bullshit, it is all bullshit, then you're weakening yourself through that attachment, through that belief. We are all equal in our own powers, in our own God realization. We all have that ability. Whether some souls get to that place in this one life that we're all currently living, that's up to God. But like I say, if you're watching my videos, if this stuff makes sense, if you've had awakenings, you're very close. You can have the platform, you can have the foundation of the realized self now in this life. And then now, I'm telling you guys, when you step into it, your former selves, you won't recognize that shit, man. It's gonna be alien to you. You won't even remember what it was like to live that way through that POV. You'll remember happenings in your past, but you won't, it'll be so foreign, feeling scared, feeling terrified, feeling lost, feeling, it's because you feel, like I say, so found. How could you ever identify with feeling lost again? That like mopey, complainy, whiny, bitchy self that takes up shop in us. The judgy, all that stuff. Whatever, man. It is how it is. That's all it can be. Be okay with that. Be okay with your peace. Like how lost are you in filling your day, bouncing from one thing to the next, because you just can't be still. It's like guys, it's okay if you want to sit down and watch a movie or scroll social media or be on your computer or play a game or go outside or don't go hiking, filling your day with stuff. Yes, do some stuff, but don't get lost in it. Don't stay on this cycle. Make time for yourself, for stillness, for prayer and meditation and gratitude to the One. You must. Or else you will become quickly jaded and cynical and nasty. It is inevitable. You will fall back into the hole again. You must keep up with this. It's like a spiritual tune-up. Even after you've awakened, even after you've realized it, you must still. That's why Jesus would keep going and praying, man. Jesus wasn't like, I'm it now. I'm the one. I'm the chosen Messiah. And like, I'll just sit around all day. No, he would go off every day. He's renewing, he's redeepening, he's recharging himself in the platform, in the foundation. He's dipping his toe in it over and over again. And the more you do that, the more you carry it with you now into the reality. But like I say, also, you don't need the meditation and the prayer as much anymore, because now you just are it. You just, like I say, are carrying it around with you. So you're already reactivating it through you all the time. Me sitting here on this video, channeling the energy, and the Holy Spirit lives through me and speaks through me. That is me reactivating my own stillness and energy. That is what that is. It's just an active aspect of it. So it does re-energize me. It does re-platform me. It does. But I still find time for stillness. Even like I'm outside having a cigarette. I'm sitting there like praying to God. I'm like smirking at life. I'm looking, I'm still, I'm not bombarded by thinking. So I'm just noticing everything. I'm having a cigarette. Oh God, this is so cool. At night, I'm out and then like there's stars. Wow, God, look at this amazing tapestry of amazingness you've created. Wow. Wow, bro. Good job, man. Like, good job, dude. Whoa, like you're pretty good at this life stuff, aren't you, God? Yeah. Yeah, you're pretty good at it, aren't you? You think like each individual person has like these talents, right? You're like, oh, they're so talented, they're so skilled, they're geniuses, God's all of those things, man. God is all of those things that you guys think are so uber cool, so uber funny. Every single thing that is like the most amazing, cool thing, the most erotic sex, the most amazing anything. Wow, that girl's so hot, God's hot. Wow, that thing's so funny, that comedian's so funny, God's so funny. Those are all aspects of God. When you guys get that, then you're going to realize that you don't limit God to any one, like, ooh, like, hallelujah, I'm going to worship God. No, God is in literally everything that you experience. It's a part of you internally too. Your thoughts, your feelings, everything. You're super horny, God's horny through you. You want to go take a shit, God feels like taking a shit. I'm telling you guys, there's no mundane, it's all holy. It's all sanctified. It's all pure. It's all perfect. Even the shit that we think is so crass and crude. It's needed, the polarities. So you find your foundation. And now, well, what you're like this unmovable force of nature. I tell you guys are the force of nature. You're the fucking hurricane. You are the tornado. You are a localized God spark that is doing word and deed and thought and being. That is you. Now go live your life. So it's like, I've realized myself. Now what? Go live. Go live. Truly live. Don't hide yourself anymore. Don't like, oh, someone's going to think this or that about me. Oh, no. Some relationships I had may or may not stay, or they're going to go, or they're going to, who cares? Any of it, who cares? It will go away if it needs to. It will stay if it needs to. You don't even have to worry about it. It happens on its own. Where I am at any moment is perfect. Whatever comes in, comes in. That's how detached you are now in this place. Doesn't mean that you don't still love your family or your friends. It doesn't mean, like, no, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, now even the stranger that comes into your reality is almost like a family member. It's like the human race kind of shit. You expand yourself to now everyone is holy to you. Everyone is important to you. Doesn't mean that you have to like let them in and like, oh, they're taking up space within you. And like, there's boundaries, of course, guys. But I'm saying for those moments that you're out or interacting or whatever, it's all grace. It's all gracefully played out. And you're just flowing with it. And you're allowing everyone to be how they need to be in that moment. And if something really irks you and you don't like it, then you can speak about it. Cool. Yell about it. Do whatever you need to do. That doesn't matter. I mean, it's almost like, what's the point of me even putting up these videos? I could just let all of this stuff be. I could. But A, it's fun for me. It's fun. I like it. B, it's needed. Some people, that's why the truth teller comes in this specific time and generation. It's needed. If it wasn't needed, then I wouldn't have been created this way to put up these videos. It's only logical. My life has been a big culmination up until now, getting me ready to put these videos out and talk about all of this stupid shit. It's all stupid, it's all beautiful, it's all wonderful, it's all of those things. Whatever label flows out of me, whatever it is, doesn't matter. So just find the platform that you are. Find the foundation. You must. Mandatory. There's no escaping it. There's no getting around it. I am the truth and the way and the light, like Jesus says, right? You say that about yourself. There's no finding that aspect of you without the foundation of stillness, without the peace of it all. That is the God realized, merged, theosis, moksha, nirvana. You find that, and now everything changes, doesn't it? How could it not? You flow with that change. You are the change. Gandhi, be the change that you want. You know what I'm saying? Be the change. Well, how could I not be now? Now that I'm it, how could I not be? It doesn't matter like whether I do something or I don't do something, I am still enacting change from a still place. And it's brilliant now. And then you're going to see it, guys. You're going to see it. And then you're going to be like, yeah, I get what he meant. I get it now. Finally, I've stepped through the door. Well, the door's right there. It's right there. I mean it. Sit down and do the work.